Orange on orange on black on black. Anyways, what's up, guys? It's the Insane Game Freak here to bring you episode 8 review of Corey Wa Zombie Desu. And all I'm gonna call this one is the plot thickens. And this in the thumbnail for the video is one of the best moments. I don't know, this episode has a lot of my favorite moments in the series now because of just a whole bunch. It's mainly just a lot of comedy with some plot oriented stuff within like the last 5 minutes, which works really well for this series. I think this is like, right now, this is probably the best harem, since it is technically a harem, the best harem this season. I can say that, I think I can get away with saying that. I don't know how many people agree with that, but I think this is the best harem this season. Anyway, so the episode kind of starts out, Harna's having a love dream about Aikawa, wakes up in a cold sweat. Aikawa was sleeping, and she freaks the fuck out, breaks down his door, and kicks the shit out of him while he's sleeping, saying he's perverted because he entered her dreams. And then after they're all up, Sarah and you continue to make fun of Aikawa, and Sarah calls him. Sarah's like, "You've gone too far, you piece of shit, going into other people's dreams." She's like, dude, I had no fucking idea what just went on. She woke me up by kicking the shit out of me. I had no idea what she's talking about. Pretty much all it is that this episode just reassures that Haruna has a crush on Aikawa. It's ridiculous how much they focus on that. Even though half the episode is really more focusing on Yuki or Tomori, whichever name you want to call her by. Because there's the beginning of the episode, like the first 7 or 8 minutes of the episode is pretty much, it kind of just has these two girls, I guess, that Yuki knows, and then masses them out to a McDonald's ripoff, which is called Mask Donald's. So remember that demon mask that Ayumi was wearing a while back? There's actually, they made like a McDonald's ripoff in the anime, and it's not called McDonald's, it's called Mask Donald's. So they're all wearing like the luchador mask and shit. And there's a funny scene where they're freaking out at the table because pretty much what it is Yuki is asking the two girls how to like Aikawa more, because she doesn't know how to like a boy, but you know, the whole marriage thing from last episode, so she's working on it. And they're freaking out, and she's freaking out about certain things she will and will not do. And the dude over the mask walks over and goes, "Shut up," and it's in English, and then just walks away. That's why she was hilarious, because it's just like, ah, and they're like screaming and shit, and he's just like, "Shut up," and walks away with the tray of McDonald's or Mask Donald's food. But pretty much, yeah, that's the. We also, the two girls she's talking to, one of them's named Kanami. They're both in her class. They're both in Aikawa's class. The thing is, though, is that one of the girls we don't know the name of, even though we see her in the ending. She's in the ending theme. Like, if you watch the ending, she's in the ending. And it's made it, and through the conversation, you can obviously tell that she has a crush on Aikawa too. So technically, there's 5 girls in the harem, even though one of the girls, I think, is that girl is like technically not in the harem because she doesn't say anything, and she hasn't actually talked to Aikawa. But you can tell through like the small moment she has, you can tell she likes him. But for whatever reason, she's not in the opening, but she's in the ending song, and you can tell through that conversation that she has liked him. Because pretty much it's like they're giving her tips how to be like his type of woman. So it's like maybe you could dress, like maybe you could act more like a girl, talk more like a girl. He's probably into like those she says something like, maybe he's probably those kind of guys who's into that Gap Moe shit, which is pretty much, you know, when girls say noon or nya or kun, or what was it, kyun? You know, like a cat or some shit, or chibis, I'm not even sure, lollies, I think. Whatever, he gives him all these tips. Next day, she brings him lunch and says noon. I'm not gonna lie, it was a cute moment. I'm not gonna fucking lie. It was a cute moment. And she makes this really nice lunch. And she ruins her own lunch because it's kind of obvious that she can't cook that well. But at the same, she's like okay, she's okay at cooking. Like the last meal she made him was horrible. The meal after was fucking awesome, but she ruined it because she put a whole bunch of seasonings on it in front of them, and they're just like, shit. And he feels like hell after eating it because he eats all of it because you know how Aikawa is. He has to eat all the food. Also now going into a plot related thing, Sarah's like putting up the laundry like on the little clothing line and shit, and someone throws an arrow at her with a message on it, and you know those glasses that Aikawa has? Those technically weren't from Dai Sensei. I think those were from the Vampire Ninja place because I forgot to mention the funny scene at the beginning where he's wearing the glasses and walking around looking at everybody naked and looking at all the girls. And then what happens? I forget what happens. I think no, one of the kids walk by him and like knock his glasses off, knock the glasses off. So he has to jump in the middle of the air to grab them. And then he gets hit by the truck. And then again, and then Sarah shows up and is like, "So what have you been looking at all these time with these glasses? Because these are for me." She takes the glasses and goes, "You disgusting piece of shit." And he covers up because you know the glasses can see through clothes. But anyway, she takes those glasses, skipping back to the point I was at. She takes the glasses and there's a secret message and she reads it. And it's like, oh, but we don't know what the message is because she's outside by herself. She didn't say it out loud. It's just like, whoa, secret message. Holy shit. And then it comes back to Herm and he's walking home with her now because she's trying to make more of an effort to like him, I guess. And pretty much what it is, they have a couple of their little bullshit. It's not really a cute moment because they go through a whole bunch of things where she has this cute thing where she does is like certain things that she knows she's gonna have to do with a wife. She freaks out and she's like, I can't. I thought that was pretty funny. But anyways, they're walking home but there's a point where they have to split up and they keep embarrassing themselves for the people because there's a point where they're talking about vampire ninjas and shit and they come and just like, whoa, you're talking too loud. And he's like, whoa, you're talking too loud. And puts his hand over her mouth. And these fucking adults walk by and like, oh my, kids these days, they're so shameless. And they both freak out and start blushing. There's also something interesting to note here. While they're talking, he's like, well, God, please don't tell me you're going to say you're going to move in with me. It's like, I would like to, but Sarah's there and I can't do that because a progressive vampire ninja and a conservative vampire ninja can't be in the same room. So I'm assuming that the progressive one is probably Seraphim or Sarah, and I think Yuki is probably the conservative because I'm just basing it off attitudes, which is maybe not something I should do, but that's just an assumption. And I thought that was interesting to note. Apparently, conservative vampire ninjas and progressive vampire ninjas can't be together around each other. I guess much, whatever. I'm not sure, which doesn't really make sense. Well, I guess they could be living together, I guess. I don't understand. Anyway, so Harna, in her jealous mode, she's going to do this a lot this episode, is fucking walks up to Ayumu and, wow, I keep doing that. Ayumu and Yuki, while they have another one of their shameless moments, because she's like, I'm doing up my hardest to try to like you, so you do your hardest and try to like me. He's like, why can't we just be friends? We seem like we get along. Why can't we just be friends? Because it's a part of the code. We can't go against the code and all this other shit. And the adults walk by again and like, oh, look how shameless. They're confessing their love to each other in the middle of the street in broad daylight. So Harna, being jealous, it's like, come on, I'm coming to get you. He's like, why are you mad? It's like, because. He's like, well, don't worry. I'll take you out because you helped me with my test. And then they turn it into a group thing. And then we get this cool little group scene for like the other half of the episode for the most part. Then some plot stuff happens in the end where they're pretty much just hanging out. They're just hanging out, buying shit. It's all four of them. It's Sarah, Yu, Harna, and Yuki with Ayumu and everything. And they're hanging out, going shopping, everything. And out of everything, I'm only going to mention one thing I thought was fucking hilarious. There's a scene when they're in the clothing store where they're looking at clothes and everything. And Ayumu sees Sarah grab like this, I guess it's some type of cosplay clothes. I'm not sure if it's cosplay clothes, but it looked like a maid's outfit or some shit. It's like, oh, and Naima walks over and is like, Sarah, that looks really nice. You should totally try that on. And try on with these. And he's holding some cat ears and some cat paws. Because I don't give a fuck who you are. You can't tell me you wouldn't mind seeing a hot chick cosplay in general. Regardless, I'm just saying, hot chick in hot clothes, every guy likes that kind of shit. You're not a straight man if you don't like that shit. I'm just saying. And she's like, no, you're a disgusting piece of shit. And then while they're trying on clothes, Sarah goes to like this corner of the store. And she goes to the mirror. And this is the thumbnail from a video, so you know it's true. And she puts on the cat ears. And she does the yeah shit. And I was like, ah! Gotcha, bitch. And then obviously Sarah punishes him by throwing the fucking throwing stars in his eyes. But I swear to God, that was one of the funniest fucking moments in that entire little scene. Because I was like, nah, she's not gonna try it on. I thought that was funny. Pretty much after that, there's a couple instances where Haruna gets mad at Ayumu because he's like, why did you kiss her? And even though that's her fault, why'd you kiss her? Why are you messing with her? It's pretty much Haruna being jealous. And I think Haruna's like the ultimate tsundere, and I'll explain that in a second because we get to that point where it becomes like around nighttime and she's getting all angry and shit. Like, it's like, God, it's like this whole kissing and we're married thing is like some elementary school bullshit. If that's the case, then me and Sarah are married, and Sarah's like, well, I have to do that to suck your blood anyway. And besides, between two girls, that shit doesn't count. So for all you Yuri fans, no. No, Sarah X Harden. We don't need that shit in here. There's enough ecchi shit in the show without that. No, people. So anyways, pretty much after that point, Ayumu and Haruna went to go get drinks while everyone is chilling out. And I forgot to mention this because it comes up now. It comes up twice. It comes up while they're walking in the mall. You see this guy they focus on for a second who seems to be working at some type of cafe. And then you see him again because you won a whole bunch of plushies. So she's still being herself. She's still being a girl. She won a whole bunch of plushies. And she was playing at them at the bench with Sarah and Yuki. Even though Sarah and Yuki were at two different tables and Yu was by herself at a table, the guy walks up and then she just fucking disappears. And while this is going on, Haruna's like, kiss me, Ayumu, and Yu's like, what? He's like, you can't just kiss her and not kiss me. And then she starts spazzing, freaking out, saying, how dare you invite her and make this such into a group activity when originally this was supposed to be a date between me and you. And the entirety while she's going through this little venting process, she's beating the shit out of him. And it's like, and that's why I say she's the ultimate tsundere, because it's just like, just wailing on him. This entire, like, literally, she goes to like this long ass speech, getting mad about everything that I guess has been irking her for these last 2 days. And it's still, and just wailing on this motherfucker the entire time. He's on the ground and he's just like, what the fuck? Oh, stop hitting me. And pretty much the episode ends is when they come back. Because I guess she got out all the venting and she didn't care about the kissing anymore. They came back and they were like, where the fuck is you? And you just disappeared because this random guy came up and the plot thickens. On like 6 different levels. There's a possible 5th girl in the harem. If for whatever reason they didn't mention her name, I actually went back and rewatched the episode like twice. I like the episode. This is like one of my favorite episodes. Then I couldn't find her name. They don't say her name. They say the other friend's name, Kanami, but they don't say her name. I don't know why. She's in the ending, and it's obvious she has a crush on him, but they don't tell us her name. So I'm assuming there's some plot-related shit there that's... My parents yelling in the background. I think there's like some plot-related shit there that we do not know of. So I'm a little curious about that. I'm curious about what this guy is, what he did with you. I'm thinking a lot of people are going to be like, is that the undead zombie we saw a while ago? But that was the case, we would have saw Kyoko, and which we didn't. So I'm not totally sure what that's about, and just a whole bunch of other stuff. But that is my review for Korean Wild Zombie Desu episode 8. This is the game, Nikia. Tell me what you guys thought about it in the comment section below. Sorry, the review was a little long, but there was a lot of stuff I wanted to discuss, and limited time. Well, technically, I'm a partner, so there's no limited time. I just did. A lot of people don't like long reviews. I don't know why. Also, leave that in the comment section. Do you prefer longer reviews or shorter reviews on any of my reviews in general? And there's a whole bunch of yelling in the background, so I have to end this. So, don't be a zombie. Let's game play to win. I said that twice already. And I'll see you guys later. Probably gotta go watch some Lovely now. So, peace!